Everyone keeps asking why you don't go out more, why you don't chase the noise, the crowds, the endless plans. Why you're perfectly content being home on a Friday night while everyone else is rushing somewhere. And at some point, you probably wondered if something was wrong with you for feeling this way. But here's the truth they don't see. You're not avoiding life. You're choosing a version of it that doesn't drain you. From the outside, it can look like you're opting out, like you're missing something. But internally, something powerful is happening. Your mind has learned how to protect itself. While the world celebrates constant motion, your nervous system understands something most people never slow down enough to realize. Peace isn't empty. Peace is fuel. You don't dislike people. You don't hate socializing. You just refuse to waste your energy on environments that take more than they give. And if your home feels like your safest, happiest place, that's not an accident. It's a reflection of how deeply you know yourself. You've reached a point where you can't tolerate fake connection anymore. You've been in those rooms where everyone is talking but no one is really listening. Where conversations feel like competitions instead of exchanges. Where people are waiting for their turn to speak rather than being present. You don't feel drained because you're shy. You feel drained because surface-level interaction costs you something real. At home, you don't have to perform. You don't have to smile on cue or dress for approval. You don't have to explain why you're quiet or why you need space. You can exist exactly as you are. You value authenticity so deeply that you'd rather be alone than surrounded by people pretending to be someone they're not. Your senses are finely tuned, whether you realized it or not. What others call lively or exciting, your body experiences as overload. Bright lights, overlapping conversations, constant movement, background noise that never stops. Your brain doesn't filter chaos well. It absorbs it. And after a while, that constant stimulation becomes exhausting. So staying home isn't avoidance. It's regulation. It's you choosing an environment that works with your nervous system instead of against it. You control the lighting. You control the sound. You move at your own pace. You've learned that your mind works best when it isn't constantly reacting to everything around it. Your brain is like a high-performance engine. It doesn't need more stimulation. It needs the right conditions. Your home is also where your real life unfolds. People assume you're doing nothing when you stay in, but that couldn't be further from the truth. That's where you think deeply, where ideas finally have room to grow, where you read, build, write, learn, plan, and reflect, where hours pass without you noticing because you're fully immersed. You're not isolating. You're cultivating. Your home isn't a hiding place. It's a creative space. A quiet lab where your thoughts can stretch out without interruption. A place where you don't have to stop mid-thought to make small talk or explain yourself. This is where you do the inner work most people avoid because it requires silence. At some point in your life, you learned the cost of chaos. Maybe it came after burnout. Maybe after emotional overload. Maybe after being the one everyone leaned on while no one really saw you. You realized that drama is expensive. It costs peace. It costs clarity. It costs energy you'll never get back. You've seen how gossip corrodes connection. You've felt how emotional noise weighs on your body. You've noticed how certain environments leave you tense, restless, and depleted. Staying home became your boundary. Not because you're afraid of the world, but because you're done paying for things that don't serve you. A quiet evening with a book, a pet curled up beside you, a meaningful conversation, or simply your own thoughts feels richer than any crowded room ever could. You're not lonely. You're grounded. And to people who live in constant chaos, peace can look like boredom. But to you, it feels like freedom. Here's what most people misunderstand. Loving your home means you're self-sufficient. You don't need constant distraction to escape your thoughts. You don't need constant validation to feel worthy. You've built an inner world that feels safe enough to live in, and that's rare. It means you've created a life you don't need to run from. A life that doesn't require noise to feel meaningful. A life where being alone doesn't feel empty, it feels restorative. You haven't withdrawn from the world. You've simply stopped letting it drain you. And that choice takes strength. It takes awareness. It takes knowing who you are in a culture that constantly pressures you to be louder, busier, and more visible than you want to be. So if home feels like freedom to you, If silence feels nourishing instead of uncomfortable, understand this clearly. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not missing out. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're wired for depth in a world addicted to noise. And that isn't a weakness. It's a quiet kind of power. If this resonated with you, let me know you're here by dropping a house emoji in the comments. And if you want more reflections like this on peace, depth, and understanding how your mind really works, make sure to subscribe and stay connected.